So for the last couple of years, we've gotten really used to AI that can chat with us, translate things and generate all sorts of content. But that was just the warm-up act. We are now seeing this huge paradigm shift, moving away from AI that just predicts things to a whole new class of software that can actually autonomously solve problems. So, okay, let's dive into the world of AI agents. I want you to really stop and think about this for a second. What if AI could go way beyond just answering a prompt and actually take on a mission for you? I mean, not just telling you how to do something, but actually doing it, booking a whole trip, analyzing a mountain of data, or heck, even launching a new product. That right there is the core promise of an AI agent. So what's the real difference here? Well, this breaks it down perfectly. A chatbot, it's a passive tool, right? You ask a question, it gives you an answer. End of story. But an AI agent, that's an autonomous partner. You give it a mission, a high-level goal, and it goes to work on its own to figure out all the steps and get it done. It's a massive shift from being a passive tool to being an active teammate. Okay, so how do these agents actually work then? I mean, to really get what they can do, we've got to pop the hood and see how they're put together. And it really all comes down to three key parts. First up, you've got the model. Think of this as the brain of the whole operation. This is your large language model, the thing that acts as the central reasoning engine. It's what processes all the information, thinks through the different problems, and makes all the key decisions. But, a brain is kind of useless if it can't interact with the world, right? And that's where the tools come in. These are the agent's hands. They're the APIs, the databases, the bits of code that connect the agent's brain to the outside world, letting it take real, actual actions. And finally, you need something to connect the brain and the hands. That's the orchestration layer. You can think of it as the nervous system. It's the process that runs the whole show, managing the agent's entire operational loop and deciding, okay, now it's time to think, and okay, now it's time to use a tool. All right, so now that we've got the anatomy down, let's look at how all these parts work together in this dynamic cycle. Because this isn't a straight line, it's a continuous problem-solving loop. This whole agentic process follows a really clear cycle. It all kicks off when the agent gets its mission. From there, it scans the scene, gathering all the context it needs before it thinks through a plan of attack. Next, it actually takes that action using one of its tools. And then, and this is the really critical part, it observes the outcome and iterates, repeating that loop over and over until the mission is complete. Yeah, this really gets to the heart of it. This continuous think, act, observe loop. That's the secret sauce. It's what lets an agent navigate these really complex, multi-step problems and adapt on the fly, all without a human having to guide every single little step. Let's make this a little more real. So a user asks a customer support agent, hey, where's my order? Now, instead of just spitting out one piece of data, the agent actually thinks through a whole strategy, just like you see here. It knows it needs a multi-step plan. First, it has to find the order in the database. Second, it needs to use the tracking number to check the shipping company's API. And third, it has to put all that info together and report it back to the user. See? That's agentic thinking. Now, it's also really important to get that not all agents are created equal. We can kind of classify them into different levels of capability, where each one builds on the last. Think of it like a ladder, with increasing sophistication as you go up. So at level 1, we have the connected problem solver. This agent can use basic tools to get live, real-time information. So if you ask it for the score of last night's game, for example, it can use a search API to look it up. It's not just stuck with the info it was trained on anymore. It's connected to the real world right now. Now, level 2 is where things get way more interesting. This is the strategic problem solver. This kind of agent can create and then execute multi-step plans to nail more complex goals. The example here is perfect. Finding a good coffee shop halfway between two addresses. It has to plan out the steps, right? First, find the midpoint, then search for highly rated coffee shops in that specific area. And that brings us to the frontier, level 3, the collaborative multi-agent system. Now we're moving away from a single super agent and towards a team of specialists, where a bunch of different agents, each with their own unique skills, work together to tackle a truly massive goal. This is honestly the most exciting part, because this whole idea of a team of collaborating agents, that's really the future. We're talking about automating complex business workflows from start to finish. And the really crucial point here is this. The system's strength doesn't come from trying to build one single, all-powerful agent that knows how to do everything. No way. Instead, its power lies in a division of labor, a model that, you'll notice, looks a lot like how human teams work. And this just brilliantly illustrates the whole idea. So the mission is launch our new headphones. A central project manager agent gets this goal, but it doesn't do all the work itself. It acts like a real manager and delegates tasks out to its team of specialists. It tells the market research agent, go analyze the competition's pricing. It tells the marketing agent, draft me 3 press releases. And it tells the web dev agent, go build the new product page. It's a whole team working in perfect sync. Okay, this is all fascinating stuff, but let's bring it back down to earth. What does this huge shift towards AI agents actually mean for us, for you? And this right here is the single most important takeaway. Agents are not just a fancier version of workflow automation. They represent a fundamental evolution in how we relate to AI. We are moving from using AI as a simple tool to collaborating with it as a capable, adaptable new member of our team. And that leaves us with one final big thought. If you had a truly capable AI teammate right now, an autonomous agent ready for its first mission, what's the first big goal you would give it? Just think about it, because the possibilities are just starting to open up.